want to know the only thing better than having one of you, it's having two of you. In today's video we're going to show you how to get the most OP summons in the game that completely duplicate your character skills, and everything that you have to equip when you summon the MiMic. It's stupidly overpowered, and you absolutely need to get one of these Elden Ring, all incredibly powerful things in games. It's a little bit of a process to get, but it will be showing you exactly what you need to get this overpowered summon, and it's going to make Elden Ring so much more fun. Now we do have to defeat Star's General Redahn, and I'm gonna go over a method to be able to cheese this boss. You can easily defeat it, which will unlock an AFK farming method for you, as well as the underground. We're going to get the summon. Now I do have a separate video going far more in depth on how to take down Star's General Redahn. If you want to check that, I'll leave it linked in the description below, but essentially we need to head into Caleb following this road all the way down, until you get Sood the Caleb Highway South. From here you're gonna head just a little bit farther south to the Cathedral of the Dragon Communion. From here you're going to want to go to the altar, and you're gonna want to pick up something called Broaden Breath. They're going to need to give this altar a dragon heart to be able to unlock it, but it is so good. Now this particular spell causes Scarlet Rot, and all you need to do is hit, or Redahn 2 times in phase 1 with this duel the taken down a half health, and then 2 times in phase 2 to be able to kill him. Now before you go in, you're gonna want to make sure that you have one of your incantation equipment, your fingers seals equipped on your right hand, so that way you can easily cast the spell when you need to. They are also gonna want to have a few of your flasks set for FP region, and once you get inside, the main goal is to just not get hit. He's going to be shooting these purple arrows at you, that you can dodge through or under, and then you're going to start reviving your fallen friends. So keep dodging these purple arrows, and you can also use the weapons that are in the field to be able to actually absorb one of the hits. Once you revive the big bull dude, he's gonna start shooting arrows up in the air. You can actually just block these with your shield, and then continue dodging the purple bolts or get completely blasted by one, whatever your heart desires. Just try not to die. It's okay if you get hit by 1 or 2 of them, but the shield does work really well. For these arrows, if you're very far away, we're going to revive this last friend over here, to be able to be a healer, and then from here we're gonna hop on our horse, we're going to run in, and pick up this last friend. And now we do have our fingers seal equipped, and we have Rotten Breath ready to go. We're going to be patient and wait for an opening behind Redahn, to run in and apply 1 level of this Rotten Breath. We need to apply to have them, so do it and then run away, because sometimes this will cause him to aggro you, rather than the friends, and the goal is to just keep running from him, until he starts focusing on your friends anymore. Basically this is a game of sacrifice. We're sacrificing our friends to live. This is a game of patience. If you try and rush in too soon you might just die. So there we go, his aggro his friends again, and what we can do now is just run and get an opening behind them. We have to apply to levels in each phase. There's 2 phases to this fight, and each time we need to hit him with at least 2 rotten breaths. That's all we need to do is 2. Now that we've had him with 2, he is actually taking damage every second. This is going to take him all the way into phase 2, and our main goal right here is just keep running away until he disappears off the map. If any point in time he starts just chasing you again, just keep running away, and once he hits about halfway health or just below half he's going to disappear. You'll hear the music get quieter, which means he's kind of vanished. You can run around and gather up your friends, but he's going to come like a freaking meteor out of the sky, and you just need to run away from the direction that is falling, and he's going to hit the ground. And now you have entered phase 2 at this point in time. What I do is I just keep running away from him, making sure I revive all of our fallen friends, so that way they can be the focus of his hatred. I don't recommend running into him. He can easily one-shot you in this phase. If you keep running away from him kind of at an angle, then you shouldn't get hit by any of his ranged attacks or anything like that. But the main goal is just patience in this phase. I know it looks like he's almost dead, but he can go crazy in this particular one. Now he's focused on our friends, And this allows us to have an opening to apply our first level of Rotten Breath. Basically when he disappears, it resets all the debuffs on him, so we have to reapply the Rotten Breath. We had him once. We're just gonna run away very quickly and wait until we verify that he has aggro our friends once again, which it looks like we can, because sometimes even when he's aggro to your friends, if you run into him, he'll like charge at you. I don't even know what kind of attack it is. I've just died instantly, so I've learned at this phase 2 in particular, patience is very much key. I'm gonna run around the edge of this here just to make sure there's no more friends, and then try and come out him from the back, and apply our last level of Rotten Breath, which should allow us to easily defeat Redahn. Now to be able to unlock this particular MiMic, we're going to need to have a stone sword key. If you don't have one, you can buy them from the Twin Maidens here for 4,000 runes. We're only going to need one of them, and I happen to use online, so I bought one for this. Once you defeat Star Scourge, all we need to do is head over to the Fort Hate West, and then from here, we're going to follow this road from the State of Grace over to where these floating rocks are. We're just going to run along the edge of this. So we can see these spots where we can start jumping down, and right about here, you can jump off this ledge, then double jump. Well, you don't really need the double jump because fall damage happens no matter what, whether you double jump or not, and just that pending on the height that you fall. And we're just gonna make our way down all of these rocks. Now as you jump down this, make sure to not jump too far like I did because you might die. Just like need to kind of fall down onto this little ledge right here, and then onto this one. Keep making your way down, and so he can get into the cave, and now he just needs you run through here, and make our way down all of these little steps. You can do anything you want along the way, just need to make sure we don't jump off the wrong side. You don't want to follow it onto the bottom and die. From here we just need to play, you know, hardcore Elden Ring house park, or which seems to be a thing that we do a surprising amount in this game, which need to run across all of these roofs. You can avoid literally everything along the way, in loot whatever you want as you go through, and just jump across these houses. We're going to get to this building where we are then going to run across. Don't fall off the edge like I almost did. On this building there's going to be a way to go across here, and there are going to need to get in through this window right here. Now you go to the edge just about here, and you can fall down onto this little platform, and then we're going to sprint across through this, in through this door, and is going to be a site of grace that we can rest on. From this site of grace we just need to head out into the courtyard, are gonna go through the little pathway in between this like an archway. Once you get down through here you're gonna turn right, and are going to be a big old boss that we have to fight in this next room. Now on the other side of this boss, there's also going to be a site of grace that you can rest at. Now depending on how strong you are, will depend on how strong these bosses are. After super weak, maybe those bosses might not be so bad, and it's basically just an exact mimic of yourself, so just beat yourself to death, and then we can continue on with this process. I don't know why I'm struggling to talk today, but it is what it is. Upon defeating this boss, you will get a larval tear, which you can use for respecting, which is pretty awesome. Now from that site of grace, we're just going to head north along the bridge, and we can finally ride torrents, and you're gonna see that little gap in the bridge. You're gonna turn left down that gap, and we're just going to run along the side of this road, and along this dude sitting on top of the hill here casting some kind of something that's probably super duper deadly. I would if we run along through here. There's going to be a site of grace where we can rest. Next, I really hope you've been practicing, because we once again have to go through some precarious and building hopping to be able to get to the next spot. Going to jump down onto this alleged here, and we going to make our turn right around here, and then we need to jump from here down onto this ledge. Loot this do, and we going to jump from here on, said this one. Make sure not to jump all the way off the edge there. Going to go right around through this. Down here, jump across. Oh my god, I almost didn't make it. Super duper sketchy. Then we to run right through this onto this ledge. We're going to make this jump right here. I guess we don't have to jump, but we're going to run across here. And into this next room. We can then hop down. We're gonna lose this dude, cause why not? Now once you get into this hallway, there is going to be an M statue, where we're going to use that stone sword key, and then the other side of this fog is going to be. It's not a boss. And it's easily killed. Let's see if I can backstab it here. Oh. And now this fine NPC is guarding the treasure that we have come down here for. The elusive MiMic tier ashes. Now the MiMic tier ashes can be leveled up, just like every other spirit, and it is a little bit expensive, but if you watch the previous rune farm video, it is not that expensive at all. That's it, guy. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.